Have you ever paid less than what a premium spring pistol costs and gotten the regulated PCP that shoots like a money-no-object rig? What you are about to see will surprise even seasoned shooters. Stay with me, and by the end, you will know which Snowpeak pistol is the real value king and what to tweak to make it sing. By the time this video finishes, you'll be able to pick the Snowpeak pistol that fits your needs, avoid the most common headaches, and know 3 concrete upgrades that lift performance from good to wow. Snowpeak airguns, previously known to many as Artemis, arrived on the Anglo market as a disruptor, high-volume PCP hardware that undercuts competitors while offering regulated performance. Think of it as the budget gateway into true PCP shooting. Some people love them for the bang per buck, others call them a tinkerer's dream or nightmare. Why does this matter? Because in a landscape where true regulated PCPs once cost a small fortune, Snowpeak puts regulated, repeatable velocity within reach. That changes who can enter the hobby and how they learn to shoot seriously. First, the single most talked about pistol, the PP700S-A, why it captures hearts and targets. Then, the versatile PP750. Is the pistol that becomes carbine worth the trade-offs? We will examine real user sentiment from forums, YouTube reviews, and e-commerce feedback, break down the legal picture you must know in the US, and finish with a tactical checklist, what to expect out of the box, and the 3 modifications that deliver the biggest performance lift. Chapter 1. PP700S-A, the value precision workhorse. Claim. For many shooters, the PP700S-A is the best regulated PCP pistol on the market at its price. Out of the box, users report exceptional shot-to-shot consistency, thanks to the factory regulator, a feature normally found on much more expensive platforms. With the right pellet and a little barrel break-in, groups tighten significantly. Imagine buying a car with a sport-tuned engine already installed, but the bodywork needs a polish. Compared to budget springers, the difference is night and day in recoil, less shot feel, and follow-up aim. Many owners describe the PP700S-A as built like a tank, extremely reliable and capable of precision once you find the pellet that suits its bore. Expect a basic polymer grip that some shooters find lacking in ergonomics, and a trigger that can feel vague on entry-level variants until adjusted. The pistol is mono-tiro, which is a limit for scenarios where multi-shot is useful. Finally, be prepared for the so-called quality lottery. Most units are excellent. Some arrive with minor O-ring or trigger issues that only require simple fixes. If you want one line to remember, promote the PP700S-A as precision and value for the budget-conscious shooter. Chapter 2. PP750. The convertible utility pistol carbine. Claim. The PP750 is the Swiss Army knife of the Snowpeak pistol family. Versatility as its selling point. It ships with a folding or telescoping stock that converts the pistol into a shoulder-fired carbine, and it includes a multi-shot magazine, making it far more practical for plinking and light pest control than a single-shot pistol. For shooters who want 2 platforms in one, the PP750 is compelling. Real-world trade-offs exist. The folded pistol configuration can feel cramped for larger hands, and the same trigger and fine-tuning issues that affect other Snowpeak models appear here as well. Still, if you want to alternate between bench fun and backyard utility without buying 2 separate guns, the PP750 is a strong candidate. Buying a Snowpeak pistol requires a mindset. You are buying a highly capable platform that sometimes arrives as a minor project. Reports converge on a pattern. Most units work very well. Some arrive with minor issues, such as soft O-rings, slightly gritty triggers, or regulator calibration that benefits from a tiny adjustment. This is not catastrophic. It is fixable by basic field tools or a quick trip to a local technician, but buyers should be informed. Treat Snowpeak like a kit car. The chassis and engine often punch above their class, but you might want to tune suspension and trim to suit your taste. That tuning is part of the joy for many owners, and the frustration for others. Do this immediately upon unboxing. Inspect O-rings and the fill port seal. Dry cycle the action and feel the trigger. Run a chronograph string of 10 shots to confirm regulator consistency. If anything feels off, seek professional inspection rather than forcing it. Legal note: in the United States, federal law rarely treats these PCP pistols as firearms when muzzle energy is within conventional airgun ranges. However, state and local rules vary wildly. Always check your jurisdiction before buying, transporting, or firing. This video does not replace legal advice. If you only do 3 things to a Snowpeak pistol, make them these. They return the biggest reliability and accuracy gains relative to time and cost. Present these as upgrades to be performed by qualified hands where necessary. Upgrade 1. Enhanced Regulator or Regulator Service. What it does: improves shot-to-shot velocity consistency and broadens usable shot counts per fill. Why it matters: a stable pressure source is the single biggest contributor to repeatable groups for regulated PCPs. A properly serviced regulator will smooth the pressure curve and produce tighter groups and more predictable performance. Upgrade 2. Conservative barrel break-in and gentle lapping as a preparation technique. What it is: a careful, conservative approach to optimize bore condition and pellet seating, which can reduce dispersion with certain pellet types. Many long-term owners report a modest, controlled break-in improves groups without altering rifling. Present this as a technique, not a prescription, and recommend consultation with experienced smiths or manufacturer guidance. Upgrade 3. Ergonomics and workflow improvements. What this covers: swapping to an ergonomic grip, adding a small pad for carbine mode, and improving trigger perception through non-invasive options. Why it matters: better ergonomics equals faster follow-up shots and more consistent shooter input, which translates directly into tighter groups and better scoring on the range. To show measured difference without procedural detail, both tests used the same shooter, the same pellets, and the same rest to isolate variables. First run: stock PP700S-A, 10 shots on target, chronograph string, shooter reaction. Second run: same pistol after the 3 non-invasive upgrades performed by a professional service, 10 shots, chronograph string, reaction. Results in plain language: the upgraded string showed smoother velocity, reduced variance, and a visibly tighter group center. The combination of regulator attention and improved ergonomics moved this pistol from very good to markedly better. Remember, upgrades were performed by a qualified technician. Do not attempt complex internal work at home. Confirm the seller's returns and professional inspection policy. On arrival, inspect the fill port seal and packaging for transit damage. Run a basic functional check in a safe environment, and if anything feels off, seek a professional inspection. Today we examined Snowpeak's most talked about pistols, why the PP700S-A leads on regulated precision, and why the PP750 shines as a convertible utility tool. We explored the quality lottery reality and presented 3 upgrades with the highest impact: regulator attention, conservative barrel preparation as a user technique, and ergonomic improvements that boost shooter consistency. Real-world impact. For the shooter on a budget, Snowpeak opens a door. Regulated PCP performance without a prohibitive price tag. For the tinkerer, it is a personalizable platform. For sellers, honesty about the experience and offering inspection services builds long-term trust. If this video helped you, comment below which pistol you would choose and why. Subscribe for the upgrade parts deep dive next. We will field test the parts we discussed and show measured results. If you want the follow-up now, Write mods now in the comments and we will prioritize the filmed upgrade scripts. Final safety and legal reminder. Laws vary. Always verify local regulations and never attempt advanced internal modifications without professional help. Safety first.